Hello, I'm Kelly Brock, and I'm the assistant producer at 148 South Street Studio. And today I have the pleasure of having Clay Anthony, the drummer from Mars Hill, with me.
How you doing?
Welcome, Clay.
Good. No, good. Welcome. I'm nervous.
He's a little nervous, but you don't need to be nervous. You are familiar with 148 South Street Studio. You know this place. You know this stage.
I love it here. It's great.
This is where you guys rehearse, right here.
Right here.
This is where the magic
My
happens.
kit's over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
so
is Kenny's spot.
Tell me about working at the studio.
Well, I show up, I do my work. I love it. I come in pretty much whenever I want, and I practice the material that we gotta get done, and it's really easy.
You have a
Nick
really
does everything for me.
Nick does everything for you.
Yeah.
Nick is your producer, Nicholas Coco.
Yeah.
But you have a great work ethic. I'm here
Thank you.
most days when you come in, and tell me a little bit about your rehearsal process.
Well, basically, it all revolves around how anxious I'm gonna be, like how much material, it just gets to my nerves. So I don't feel right until I really know everything. So until I do, I really just gotta show up every day when no one's here and keep doing it for myself.
Yeah, and we're talking every day for 5-6 hours some days, right?
Yeah.
And
6 days a week.
And you actually will come in having noted all of your drum parts too.
Or for just retention, just seeing it, visually seeing it, helps me remember where I'm at and when I'm there.
So Clay, you are the newest member of Mars Hill. What's it like coming into a group that had been working together and just really having to step up to the plate?
Do my job, and hopefully I get some nods at the end, because that's what I'm looking for. I'm always questioning what I'm doing. So I'm always looking for a reaction from the guys.
When did you first start drumming?
How did I first start drumming? Well, first it would have been in middle school. 6th grade. That's an elective. You take that or choir. So I took band. My dad told me that's was the better option. So I did that. I wasn't very good. As far as the drumming goes, let's see. I blew in all the mouthpieces, the brass and the woodwinds, and I couldn't get a peep out. So they made me tap on this table, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're gonna play drums," and I don't think my tapping was very good. They're just like, "This is your last resort. Like, we have to teach you something."
So did it click for you right away that first semester doing band?
Oh man, I was so horrible until I switched schools, and about 8th grade, and that's when things started to click, and I always liked music, but I never really understood it until around 8th grade.
How did you transition from doing that to now playing a full kit?
Right, yeah. So I had my best friends, they were musicians. They both played guitar, rock music, and basically just their influence, got to me, and I was like, yeah, well, I'll just play the drums, and that'll be my thing. I always wanted to. It wasn't until I was 15 that I got a solid kit, and from there it just took off.
Now, you said that you also kind of have dabbled with guitar and synthesizer and stuff. When did that come into your...
Well, yeah. So, after my first couple bands, basically all the downtime that you have in between, a project or even practices, it's what do I do? So, I pick up, a guitar because it's there. And, yeah, I pretty much just teach myself on that. I know a million chords, and I still, to this day, don't know the notes, but
I can get and all that. Yeah.
I can get all around, just chord-wise. I am not a lead man. The thing with the synthesizer, it's after a while, you're creating these songs, but you can't always remember them, so, eventually, I don't know, I just basically loop stuff. The synthesizers, you need more parts, so you buy those, Now I got keyboards, I got everything now.
So you started with the traditional acoustic drum set, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
When did you make the transition to the electric drum?
Maybe like close, almost a decade ago. Like
Okay.
I was in an indie pop project, and I'm like, man, these sounds are just not doing the music justice. So, I got like my first Octopad. That's like a Roland product, and basically a loop station. It's basically an electronic drum set, just packed into this little thing. And then, as time went on, you add triggers, and then you really just come to find out that everyone needs a sampler. So I bought the Roland sampler, and then I triggered that up. So my kick and snare will have, triggers on both, from both pads, and my toms will just be one. And, you can run all kinds of samples and backing tracks. And
So you must have
like
a
a
love for technology too.
I don't
Computers,
really,
really?
to be honest, everything that I've learned is a last resort. Like,
Because
you wanna,
you didn't have a synth player, you
you
didn't
wanna,
have
you wanna
those
sound
people to play
good.
with.
You
Yeah.
wanna sound good and have perfect notes. You get electronic stuff. Then you can have a better demo.
That's really interesting because you and I were talking about that before. If you want it perfect, you have to go with
Yeah.
electronics.
So-
So at what point does the technology start overshadowing the artistry?
Well, I can tell you in many ways, like just playing the samples alone for drums, like you're playing that exact tone, the lengths of it, depending on how you set it up, but you're basically playing just those notes, so you have to fill out exactly how those notes fill out, So, I mean, it's gonna, basically your beats define themselves.
Yeah. So you're kind of like a one-man orchestra over there.
I mean, I could be.
You really are
I just-
orchestrating all the parts, and you're
Yeah.
creating these loops, but you're also playing the drums.
I've just never found a way, or had the time yet to make my own. Just I'm gonna loop this at this time, and then hop on this
Yeah.
and hop on that. Like,
So how do you
Yeah.
see using this talent that you have with the Mars Hill project at some
Well-
point in the future?
I mean, everyone eventually goes to like cleaner tones, so I think that it's only gonna clean up the drum sound. Other than that, like if we decide to do other types of production, I can handle a ton of it.
Yeah. How does what you do and what you bring to the band lend towards the progressive rock feel that Mars Hill is trying to capture?
Well, let's see. I'm actually going backwards. So from playing from samples, like direct cut beats, like now I'm like going back to my rock roots. Open things up, add tons of high end with the cymbals to fill it out. I mean, I'm gonna try and get as unique as I can with it. I'm just gonna try and do me.
Now you've talked about how your style is experimental.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily think in a box, so yeah. I mean, it's gonna translate. I mean, it translates with tons of classic rock bands. It's just as much as I can retain at one moment.
Yeah.
So, longer I have with a song, I'm sure the more fiestas are gonna be happening.
You like the R&B, pop,
Love it.
the pocket,
Huge variety.
the pocket drum, that you can really dance to, kind of.
I mean, I love dance beats. Yeah.
You
I mean,
love
they're
you
not
love
always
everything.
They're not always pockets either.
Yeah.
It's just it's man. I think it's just the appropriate beat for the appropriate song. But I mean, there's just a lot touches me, but
Yeah.
it's mostly groovy stuff. I like really dark things, but I don't like it too dark. I want it to bring me back and shed some light on my life or something.
Right. Yeah. You were talking about how you don't want the frequency could be dark, but somewhere there's got to be some kind of light.
Yeah, I'm all about the energy and.
Yeah. What kind of energy do you think Mars Hill brings?
Oh man, it's explosive. It's like you can't contain it. It's pretty unreal. Like, but I like it because it is a positive energy, and
Good.
that's all I'm searching for.